All right, man. All right. Promised Neverland greatness continues. I have no idea what to expect here, but from the amount of... It's absurd because it wasn't even just last week. It was the week prior to that. Like, every single time I did a Promised Neverland stream, people were telling me that I couldn't read past chapter 11 and not get to 15. And they kept saying 15 was a great stopping point and that I'm not ready for it, right? So we're finally here now. And I kind of believe them with the build-up that we've gotten and everything that I've seen. But I have no idea what to expect because time and time again, this series kind of baits my expectation, has like multiple red herrings just kind of strewn about this field of me like trying to pick in between them, from Gilda to Dawn, Phil. Like, I don't even want to deal with it. I'm going to say this right now. Anybody in this chat that spoils me, I hope the mods are here because you can just catch that block. Although I probably won't look at the chat too readily because I noticed, thinking about the last couple of streams as well, that I don't have enough time to talk about the chapter and to actually get through the chapters I want to get through without, pretty much running out of time because I'm looking at the chat. So I'm going to try and mitigate that a little bit. And I'm going to try and just read, not really give too much of my perspective on stuff as it happens. Of course, that's going to be unavoidable. That's part of a reaction. I'm going to start going on tangents left and right. But I'm going to try and kind of temper that so we can get past chapter 15. That's the goal. That's the fucking goal. Whether I feel as though I need to continue at that point or not, it is what it is. But with that said, as you can see, I got the Ichi hoodie. I need it to protect me. It's the only thing that like shields me and safeguards me from problems in any given series. Did a marvelous job in Hunter x Hunter, and ever since then, I've found like the luck imbued in it, and I have to wear it when I'm a little bit apprehensive about a reading. So, with all that said, please smash that like button. I have to have my drinks because I'm trying to get ready for this drunken stream, but I don't know if that's gonna like make this easier to weather or if it's gonna be more of a problem. But let's get into it. We're starting with chapter 12. I'm on page 1, and we're gonna start right now. But why Gilda? There's a spy among us. If one of them is really the source, then they'll definitely rush to take action. Gilda is their source. Don't jump to hasty conclusions, Emma. Just because this fiend conscripted her doesn't mean, and that's the thing about Gilda, because the way they've been trying to position her symbolically from the jump just seems so obvious that I can't 100% throw everything that basket. And that's why I'm glad that it was, in fact, Krone that approached her rather than having it be Isabella. But is this really happening? Were all those tears and smiles just an act? No way. Was everything a lie? No, don't. Let's not be too hasty, Emma. Especially when you got this fiend lurking over her shoulder. Now then, come right in. I'm so happy you came. Trying to bait her. This isn't that typical banish, especially, and that's the thing, because of Krone's position, she can speak all these sweet nothings in her ear and try and position it as though that she's on her side and that she's just as appalled by these atrocities as anyone else, which is a lie. Oh, this fucking cover is sick, bro. This cover is dope. The middle of the night in this prison called the Neverland. Within the darkness lies a traitor. Like, just that shadow, too, off of Emma. That distortion on the building scape. That's I'm sorry. I like Shiraya and Mizu time and time again. Like, in this short span of time, too, the fact that they've come this far, both keeping their narrative tight, but at the same time with the artwork, to where I can see that progression, yet it's been very unique throughout. Fucking love. I love it so much, dude. It's too nice. Let's go. But why with sister? Can I? No, I can't see inside. I'm sure you figured out by now to not make any more mistakes from here on out. Dude, she's on edge because of that. Fuck you, Krone. You can't ever touch the goddess. I refuse to change my plans halfway. That woman is clearly lying. Only the eldest girls in the house are allowed to care for the toddlers. There's no such rule in this plantation. Isabella made up that rule on her own for this place. The one she wants to raise into the next mama is her livestock child. But that damn girl. Hold on. There's actually a lot in there. So she established this rule. I mean, there has to be some similarity in accord as far as the cult of Nyarlathotep is how each plantation runs their selection process for the next potential mama then. But then on top of that, and that little bit of information, we have Emma being positioned as such. And you're actually going to get heated over this when you just got here. Nobody, you know, honestly, I just can't like Sister Krone, dude. I don't know what it is. I know people keep trying to push me to like her, but I just, it's disgusting, man. It's not fair. It's not right. I still raise an eyebrow to it, no matter. And I think it's a fair construction. I don't think there's anything adverse at play, but come on, man. You really want me to say that I like Sister Krone? Fuck you. It's all starting to piss me off. Emma, Isabella, Ray, Norman. I'm going to catch all those kids by their tails and ship them all off in no time. That determination, though. I want to see your plan right now. I'll be returning the simulation and loss with lots of interest. And that's why this girl will turn out to be useful. Now then, Gilda, go ahead and tell me. I can kind of hear them, but not every word. About that, what is she trying to? There's nothing troubling me at all. Gilda, my girl. See, that baiting was too obvious for me. It was already too focused for me to want to believe in it. I have to believe in Gilda because I absolutely adore her. But even if she does stab me in the back, be at a moment, I now have faith that it won't be at a moment that I, predict. It's gonna be completely and utterly a blindside for me. Huh? Look at you putting on such a gloomy face again. I knew she approached her too, trying to. Should have went for Dawn, my dude. Let me know right away if there's anything. Wait, if there's ever anything worrying you. Can't say since I've been told not to say a word. Come to my room tomorrow night. It doesn't matter what time, just come. Got it? Like, that's so creep, dude. That's so creep. I can't even. Look, you're doing it again. Thank you very much for worrying about me and continuously checking up on me. A counseling session on her troubles. She's not the spy. But I'm fine now. So please, leave me alone. Thank you again. I will be leaving now. Gilda. It's not going to be that simple, though. Thank goodness. Gilda is an ally, not a spy. Seeing her face like that is too cute, man. I love Emma. The progression, the potential I continue to see in her is unreal. And of course, look at those eyes, bro. Krone, man. Fucking Krone. I see. So Emma has told you everything now, hasn't she? That's the problem. That's enough to destabilize Gilda. That's not fair. That's not fair. Gilda, you found out about everything now, haven't you? Disgusting. What? She's seen through me. What should I do? See, I had more faith in Gilda in this. I have enough faith in Gilda that she can actually put on a facade to subvert this. Norman even warned me. Both Mama and the sister are enemies. Make sure not to let them realize that. I completely forgot my Norman voice. It'll come back to me eventually. I completely forgot about it. I know I pinpointed what I wanted to do with Ray, but I can't believe I forgot my best boy Norman voice. Make sure not to let them realize that you know their secrets. Was I not cautious enough? But I am now. Which part did I? No, it's a bluff. Sister's just trying to trick her into talking. Oh, Gilda, what a shame. I really thought that we could become the best of friends. What happens now that I've been found out? Gilda, you have to see through this. You have to see through this. Am I immediately sold off to the bad guys? Does anyone else know? Norman, Ray, and... Come on, Gilda. Realize, dude, Emma is 100% me right now. I don't want to see a panel where she falls prey to this. I really, really don't. I'll make sure to let you off the hook. So come on. Let's get along and work together. Disgusting. Please, stop it. I have no idea what you're talking about. It was just a fight between me and Emma. But we've already made up, so there's nothing to worry about anymore. I see. Then I suppose it was my mistake. I'm sorry. What the fuck? What the fuck did you just whisper into her ear? You know, no, I can't. See, this is exactly where I gotta check myself and not speculate too much and kind of keep the chapter going because we'll be here forever. Good night. See you later, Gilda. Emma? Wait, this isn't what it looks. Oh, so much love, dude. Emma, my heart, I can't even take it. Thank goodness. Thank goodness, Gilda. I'm so sorry for doubting you. Emma. Emma. See, what is it that in that raw moment of emotion is destabilizing her that much? And it's still just another ploy by her. If you ever start to feel that Emma is lying to you, come right back to talk to me. That child is most likely not one of the targets, but she's definitely a useful card that knows something's up. I really want to keep her in the palm of my hand, even if I had to be a little aggressive about it, but no matter. I spread the seeds. Now, the next step is... You're so full of yourself in the stupidest of ways. Yes, you got one over Gilda, who is by far one of the least emotionally intelligent, mature, and as far as IQ is on a lower spectrum, as far as what I've seen displayed. I had more faith in her. I had the faith in Gilda's potential to surpass, the prime levels of everybody. So that means on top of Thoma, on top of Dawn, like everybody on that second tier. I still believe in it, but the very fact that she couldn't see through this is a little bit disconcerting to that theory. Did you see this? Wait, my Ray voice. Where is it? Hey, did you see this morning? What the fuck is this? Dude, this is disturbing. I'm not gonna lie to you. And I've been on like a horror kick lately, but this is actually disturbing. Sister Krone was staring really hard at the floor of the storage room. Yeah, I heard from Emma. It's an action that would be taken when trying to find the target, so she's opposing Mama's control. It's just like I thought. Sister is moving independently from Mama. I'm glad you're able to gather that from just that bit of information. But now this is spat between... Since when do I have a Norman and a Ray voice? Were you not at the last stream? But now, is this spat between Mama and Sister something to be happy about? Or should we be sighing in annoyance? Oh, by the way, the footprints are no use as evidence. They won't prove anything. The slippers are the same size for all the older kids. I also walked around a lot despite a little time we had. I'm not reading in this voice. I can tell that I was searching for. Well, if footprints are no good, then she'll just come at us with something else. The question is, why is the sister moving independently and trying to find targets depending on her objective and methods? We cannot yet rule her out as a mere annoyance. I agree. I agree with that. Nevertheless, though, I think it still hinges on Norman's initial statement. The man clearly said that it can be dealt with at any point, and I believe that wholeheartedly. Huh? Where's Dawn? Oh, come to think of it, I haven't seen him for a while now. Gilda is clean. Hey, Ray, why do you think spies do their job? Well, isn't that obvious? Because there's some sort of benefit to being had from doing so, don't you think? For example, they could be offered the chance to escape being shipped off and granted an opportunity to grow up to become an adult. Guaranteed safety for one's own life, huh? But you already considered that possibility, so what was it that you were trying to get at there? I see now. This was all meant to train us before the escape, huh? Oh shit, I didn't even realize that was Dawn. I'm glad you can at least perceive that, my boy. 1, 2, 3. Emma, do you have a moment? I'd like to ask your opinion on something. What if there was a child that intentionally became the pawn of the demons? And what if that child was ensured their own life by acting as a spy for them? Would you leave that child behind? Do I want Norman to be more wary with his information? That's the thing. Like, I'm glad that he knows it. I don't know if Emma needs to hear it right now. Or would you take them with you? So you're saying that if they acted as a spy, they'd be able to live on without getting shipped off. I'd take them with us. Is that hard? Is that belief in people? I mean, and I think that Norman positioned it the most euphemistic way possible because there is the possibility that they're 100% in league, even if that's being lorded over them. It's a matter of their own willingness to depart from that construction and actually believe in the possibility of escape. Even if that person doesn't wish for it. Yup, I'd drag them if I had to. Because if we run away, there's really no guarantee that the child's life will be spared. And besides, I see. Yeah, that's right. I knew you'd say that, Emma. And that's exactly why my boy loves you. What's it look like? It's not there. Seriously? I'm gonna go check the bathroom. I checked there already. The rope in the ceiling of the bathroom is still there. The extra ropes. Then I guess that's settled. We're going to feed Dawn and Gilda with 2 separate locations for the extra ropes. I'll tell Dawn that the ropes are hidden underneath my bed. For Gilda, I'll say they're above the ceiling of the 2nd floor bathroom. And now, only the ropes underneath my bed have disappeared. The source of information, no. The spy was you, wasn't it, Ray? Wait. Hold the fuck on. Why? What is he standing? Ray, my boy. Okay, I'm gonna choose to believe that Ray fed this information with a purpose, and it was all in service of his plan to destabilize tracking devices. That's my initial gut feeling on this. Thinking about the scenario, you could extend that layer and say that he was trying to smoke out leak. And those are pretty much the only 2 constructions I can immediately think of that spare Ray from being shady. If he has been conscripted, which I still really doubt, he'll have to break away for the sake of the narrative. Even though the very fact that Norman peered through this just makes him even more of a lord, though. I'm done. I can't right now. We're gonna get into chapter 13 because I actually no. I'm gonna take my little intermission now. We'll get into chapter 13 when I get back. You guys just do some shit. All right, let's get back into this. I'm gonna start chapter 13 right now. Truth and beyond. The source of information. No. The spy was you, wasn't it, Ray? Don't do this to me right now, dude. What is this fiendish little smile right here? I guarantee one of my initial thoughts on this has to be right, because if it's anything other than that, I'm not gonna be okay with it. Chapter 13, Spy Part 3. Bro, that is dope though. If he is in fact in lead, this is just a dope shot, dude. Young Ray. That's beast. That's a dope cover page. I'm not gonna lie. Fucking Riku status. Betrayal always lurks close by. What are you saying, Norman? You should understand the situation already. I didn't stop at just 2 traps. I'll tell Dawn that the ropes are hidden underneath my bed. For Gilda, I'll say they're above the ceiling of the 2nd floor bathroom. That's what I told you and Emma. But in reality, I told Dawn they were in the dining room, and told Gilda that they were in the library. Yo, Norman is enough. Yo, my son. My faith in Norman is beyond anything that I ever thought possible to begin with. I absolutely love this kid. He's a genius. Just now, I went around to recollect all the extra ropes. The only ones that were gone were the ones under my bed. That just means that Dawn was merely framed. Ray, you are the source. That laughter, I'm not gonna do it right now. I'm no mood. Bro, that battle. Man, just when I thought things were going as planned. You're quite the softie, so I assumed that I could get away with deceiving you guys for a little longer. But it seems like you found me out a lot faster than I had anticipated. You're right. I'm Mama's spy. Bro, Ray, don't do this to me, my boy. No matter what you were forced to do in the past, we can fix this. You can get out, my dude. Don't do this to me right now. Since when did you suspect me? Ever since the night that Sister Krone came here. Bro, one of my favorite panels in all of Promised Neverland. So that was one of the main things on his mind, that he was letting his desire to protect him overcome him. I like that context now. That's dope. That right away, huh? Honestly, I was sickened at my own self for suspecting you first and foremost, despite our tight friendship. Still, you being the informant would be a worst-case scenario for us. And from the enemy's standpoint, you being the informant would be a best-case scenario. You'd be able to influence the plans. It'd be perfect if their objective was to control the situation. There's nobody more suitable for this position. Am I wrong? That's why I suspected you, huh? I truly hoped I was wrong. It was the worst imaginable situation possible. And while we're at it, Ray, you've been a source for Mama for a long time, haven't you? Exactly. And it might have been the case, but how? There's 3 questions we should really be asking ourselves right now. The first one I think is about to be answered right now, so I'm not even going to get into it. There's no way Mama would trust a sudden secret report or an impromptu spy. This at least proves that Ray was already a spy that day. Yo. I should have been more wary. Even still, I think it'll flip on its head. On that very first day, Mama had already made Ray dive into in to identify who we were. So since when have you been Mama's spy? Since a long time ago. You were only her spy, but you were her underling. Observation, security, the growth rates of the merchandise. Mama was already controlling us livestock to begin with, but was also using Ray as a device to lead us in a direction she wanted from within. Exactly. You could see me as the sheepdog of a shepherd. Dude, that panel is so smug. Absolutely twisted. Acting as if everything was fine. Acting as if you were one of us sheep. This whole time. All these years. You'd better be the only spy and source she has. Sure am. You supported Mama despite knowing everything. Yup. Was everything a lie? There's no way I could ever leave you guys like this. Bad idea. Yo. Nah, I can't 100% put it on that either. I feel Norma's position heavily right now. There's no end to things I want to ask you, but one thing first. How much did you tell Mama? You can really destroy the transmitters, right? See that? My son. That's the only question I have right now. All I want to know is if everything the man has done, despite feeding her information, as he's always done, is if his plan to destroy the transmitters is on point and on schedule. That's all I want to know, dude, because that inherently tells me where he stands. Why would you ask me? Would you cut me from the plan, depending on my answer? I won't. I'd have you around us just like before. Troll them through Ray. If Mama thinking that is the reason why we aren't being shipped away right off the bat, cutting you off would simply be too dangerous for us. Aren't you glad? Yo, look at that scummy look. No, that's the thing, though. From Norman's perspective, too, and from Ray's position, caught between both of those sides, he didn't have to make a choice. I think Norman understands him better than he realizes. And he only really has one option at this stage. Just tell me the plan is on schedule. That's all I want to know. Aren't you glad? You can cover up your blunder now. Weren't you so desperate to keep spying on us that you had to shift all the suspicion to Dawn? What do you want? 3 things. 1. Stay right beside us to guarantee our safety. 2. Disclose all the information you have to us. 3. Double-cross Mama. Become my spy this time. Oh, no, he's my son, dude. Turn that spy into our trump card. So you're saying that it is impossible to turn his on. From that moment, this was the construction he was already thinking under. What a lord. What an absolute lord. None of this, and that's the thing. It's crazy because this revelation actually makes me view Ray even more favorably. But the gap, so even with that, the gap has still widened between them for me. Norman is just too real. Are you stupid? If that was your goal from the start, then you should have just stayed quiet and used me. It was a dumb move to resort to things like blackmail and bargaining when you didn't even need to in the first place. Keeping the source in the dark and cutting them off once is time to skedaddle was the best option you could have taken. Oh, I know. Too real. It was that one same, and this is exactly why. That's the only thing, though. I think that Norman's logic being colored by his emotions for Emma really isn't that much of a detriment. Like, it definitely is. And it's definitely something that I see the main death flags for his character being rooted around and what's going to screw him over ultimately. But it's somewhat of a boon because Ray can't understand that construct. Ray can't understand that lens through which to view things from. So while he is speaking pure logic, and I actually agree, I would have run it that way. I think, one, just from like a practical standpoint, telling him there destabilizes him far more than having played it close to the chest. And I think beneath the surface, rape might have been operating to that end, even if this is what framed it. I still think it works heavily. Because if we run away, there's really no guarantee that the child's life will be spared. And besides, I still want to believe in them. The incident with Gilda really reaffirmed my feelings. Ray told us to suspect more people, and I couldn't say anything back, since he was all like, but you couldn't even see through Mama's lies. But even if there were to be demons source among us, I don't think any of our siblings could possibly be evil at heart. If that filtered your perception, that's a different thing. If you're doing it for her, that's a different thing. I think it's stronger for it to have changed Norman's mind wholeheartedly than him to have just been counting on the fact that that was her perception. But it's too early to really say until I see what he has to say in mind. After all, we all grew up together. Even if they get in our way, betray us, or tell me that I'm naive, I still want to have faith in them. She's so much fucking love, dude. Emma is beautiful. Greatest strength and her greatest weakness just wrapped into one. I think that's, but at the end, it's crucial because it's something that I don't think anybody else in this series has right now, and that no rational human being at this stage in their development would. It's fucking incredible. But I've changed my mind. I also want to believe in you, Ray, that you put our friendship before your own goals as an enemy. Anyways, there's been another thing that's been bothering me a bit. You were the one who hid little Bernie, weren't you? For our sake. You were the one that set this whole prison break in motion, weren't you? Why did I fucking say I knew you couldn't fucking destroy me with this shit? If I have to see Connie one more time, I can't. I'm not even gonna. I'm just gonna pretend like I didn't see anything from now on. If I see this flashback one more time, I'm gonna pretend like I saw nothing. It's not hard to manipulate Connie, even more so for you since you were in her room. If Emma hadn't discovered little Bernie in the dining room where you placed him, you were planning to point him out to her anyway, weren't you? Connie's probably still around. If you hadn't said that, we'd have never headed to the gate in the first place. You planned it so that we would find out about the truth by ourselves. The truth, the big secret of this house. You wouldn't have done so if you were 100% loyal to Mama. You also did your best to keep us under your control. You constantly tweaked our plans for the better in subtle ways. It's true. 100% true. You let me handle that. At the same time, you also made sure to keep Mama in check. As much as you could with your position as her source, you made sure to do everything you can to prevent us from getting shipped off right away. Good news. The kids with them. They won't be able to leave. As long as you have one of the kids in your arms at all times. Good check. Yo, that's a brilliant check on her, dude. Even still, I have faith in Isabella that she wouldn't even just like trust that wholeheartedly, but that's still a good check because at some level, she's still going to operate under that construction, even if she suspects that that won't assist her when the time comes. And it actually will. I mean, it's a give and take because that information keeps her at bay for the immediate future, but at the same time is something that she will use against you because of Emma's predilection. And there's no way, like, at that point, and the very fact that Norman's framed his whole character around wanting to believe in what she believes. Yeah, there's no way. There's no way. I still think it's impossible. There will be casualties, dude. It's not. There's absolutely no way it's possible. You haven't even told her where the real ropes are hidden. It's hard to tell from where they'll be running. Keep on the lookout. Look, I'm not reading the chat, by the way. I just glanced over at it. I'm going to say this right now. If you have spoiled anything in this chat, I give the mods free reign to disarm you at all points. And from this point onwards, I dare you to hint at anything. And I especially dislike when people come into a stream and you've read the material and you want to be like, oh no, you're wrong. Or, oh no, this is what's going to happen. Or, no, you're not looking at this shit. Shut the fuck up and listen to the stream. Okay, that's all I got to say. Otherwise, you can go back to reading it by yourself and watching everybody else cover it. And you don't need to watch my content on it, dude. I don't give a fuck. I'm doing this because people wanted to see it. I could have easily just read this weeks ago, many weeks ago, by myself and caught up. But no. So have some fucking respect. Anyway, why would you give us a chance if you were truly our enemy? Why would you go against Mama's will like this? You really aren't an enemy, are you? You haven't actually disclosed any information that would critically disadvantage us. You're also ready to destroy the transmitters in no time. See, that's all that matters to me. That's all that fucking matters to me. As long as he's good to go on that front. I'm 100% in line with the character. Am I wrong? An enemy or an ally? Ray, tell me, why exactly... Yo! My boy, dude. Look at that panel, though. That's based. That's real as fuck. Why exactly are you working for Mama? That's that. If I can work that in, I'm gonna do so. It's pretty easy to do it. I'm gonna need something on the right side though, but that's too real. All right, let's get into chapter 14 immediately. So this is the gate, huh? Dude, they look so adorable as kids. They look so adorable as kids. I can't even. Bummer. This turned out to be less fun than we anticipated. Let's head back before Mama sees us. Ray, why exactly are you working for Mama? Let's fucking go, dude. I volunteered to do so by my own volition. Or rather, it's more like I put myself out there. Why? To prepare for our escape. All of this was to prepare for our escape. I mean, I wouldn't put it past him, especially if he had knowledge of it that early. But let's see what he has to really say right now. I've realized the secret behind this house. What are you gonna do about it? Kill me? Mama, I want to make a deal with you. And he so that's the thing too, that I have to give him so much props and respect for that, because he realized the position she was in immediately upon learning the truth. It was not but a logical connection for him that happened more fluidly than it took Norman to come to that conclusion in the span of like a week, if we look at how the timeline transitioned. That's real as fuck, dude. And then not only that, but he leveraged that position immediately. Yo, Ray is a god. Ray is a fucking god. Family and a friend. We've always been close together. We knew everything about each other, or at least so we thought. Another brilliant cover page, dude. To prepare for our escape. That's right. All this was mere pre-planning. It was the best way for me to understand our enemy, and for me to gather resources. That's why I've practically sold myself to the enemy. What are you going to do about it? Kill me? The cards weren't completely stacked against me. I have a hunch about the shipping order. It's our scores, right? Mama went through all the trouble to cultivate me. I'm part of her pride and joy. Harvesting me halfway should be something that Mama would like to avoid at all costs. That smug little grin, dude. I love him. I absolutely love him. What a god. I want to make a deal with you. Sure enough, Mama went along with it. For her gains are more important than the rules. I demanded roughly 2 things from her. 1, that she wouldn't ship me off right off the bat if I worked for her. And 2, that I be compensated for my work. Your compensation will depend on the fruits of your labor. Compensation? What do you mean with that? All kinds of useless crap. I could get her to order things that weren't found in this house. You testing what she could and couldn't get her hands on? Exactly. I was like killing 2 birds with 1 stone, since I could also get a taste of the outside world through these demands. What a fucking lord, dude. What a fucking lord. Yo, everything that I could have wanted for him to leverage this position, he's already done. He's already done, because as soon as I got this revelation, those are the 2 thoughts that came to my mind. Actually 3, and I guarantee he's going to give me the 3rd one in a second. But as long as everything's according to schedule, and he's done this much with it for the good of his family, that's all that really matters to me. He's a fucking god. Really is a fucking god, dude. With 1 fell swoop, he just tied back up with Norman. I still think I'm going to choose Norman ultimately. That's just where I've been leaning from the beginning, but this heavily changes my perspective. In the end, I could get almost anything I wanted, as long as they weren't anything dangerous. The only thing that sucked was all the items I received weren't exactly the newest versions available. Fucking PSP on deck, dude. Yeah, no, if it's 2045 and we assume that any sort of post-apocalyptic event occurred 20 years past present day, not even. I'd say I personally I give it like 5, but for the culture to have established itself at the point that it's at. But then what does that really say about the cult of Nyarl's influence on the world as a whole? Or it only goes 2 ways. Either it hasn't progressed outside of their construction since then, or they're secluded. I think it just hasn't progressed outside their construction because they dominate, but it could very well be the case, and that opens up a lot more possibilities in a larger scope for the series as a whole. What meticulous preparation. Then, when you said that you had an idea on how to destroy the transmitters, were you actually telling the truth? I've seen them with my own eyes. I've been experimenting. It took many years, but I eventually found a way. I'm definitely capable of destroying them. Bro, I don't even want to say what this panel reminds me of because I just don't care to. If somebody can guess what it reminds me of, then that's all well and good. If not, then it doesn't matter. Let me be clear here. I can reliably render the transmitters useless. Do you get it? Sitting right in front of you, in this moment, is your most supreme trump card. Bro, that panel is gold. That arrogance, though. This man, he... Absolute Lord. Absolute Lord. God damn. We're gonna... Again, I have to skip past this because there's a lot I want to say right here, but I'm gonna save it for later just because I don't wanna lag on time. If we can build up enough time to talk at the end, that would be ideal. I'm in a position where I could potentially stab Mama in the back from the inside. I know how to render the transmitters useless, and on top of it all, I know more than you could ever imagine. All I want to say about this panel, though, and I think the only thing that's most apt to note, is that despite the fact that the man has revealed all this, and that I have a much better, outlook on his position. The entirety of this artwork and this entire panel shows to me visually through the body language, through his facial expression, what kind of person Ray is, dude. That's all I want to say about it. I'm not gonna get too deep into it right now, but I thought all I'll say too is I absolutely love him. I absolutely love him. But he showed me in that one instance his most supreme weakness. I know how to render the transmitters useless, and on top of it all, I know more than you could ever imagine. While it might not be everything, it's all information that you will need to plan your escape. I am your strongest card. I've been preparing for this ever since I knew the house's secret, in a way such that nobody, that you guys nor Mama would ever find out about it. I tricked Connie, who was none the wiser, and stole little Bernie. And the way you don't boast on that front. That's all I can tell you right now, because you're gonna piss me off. I made you two go to the gate. You're right. It's just as you said. All of this was for the sake of keeping you two alive. Anyway, back to topic. I'm not your enemy, but I'm not your ally either. I won't even try to take part in any ridiculous plans, so I did all I could to restrict you two. You should already know where I'm heading with this. It all depends on the conditions. If the conditions are favorable, I wouldn't mind selling out and becoming your trump card. I'll hand over all the information, and I'll lie to Mama as you wish. The power fucking hand, dude. This is where I saw him going with it, but the only thing you're discounting, Ray, is how is the point of the emotion that drove you to this position in the first place. Because if you were as cold as you truly believed, you wouldn't have proffered this ultimatum to begin with. That's all I'm saying, Ray. That's all I'm saying. What exactly do you want? I want you to fool Emma. Oh, this is the one thing you can't be asking, my boy, though. Pretend like we'll bring everyone along, and then ditch them at the last moment. It can allow Dawn and Guild to come along, but we're leaving everyone else behind. And see, here's the thing. I 100% feel Ray's position, too. I 100% feel that position. I think is necessary. But Emma's, as much as I see it as naivete, Emma's heart and her optimism is something that's quintessential, especially facing the world that lies beyond this place. And to destabilize that and to trample on that is an apt Ray. Despite why Norman's doing it, which we all know why Norman's doing it, but even then, I don't think if he can betray his confidence, or betray her confidence, I don't know, man. I might quite like that just the same. I might quite like that development just the same. I'm just saying, man. This fucking series is brilliant. You're telling me to give up on bringing everyone. I agree to this plan, which is why he wants me to fool her. Everyone improved beyond our expectations with the training we've been giving them. Didn't you say so yourself? I'm sure you weren't just lying back then. So then why? They weren't bad, I'll give you that. But that still doesn't change the fact that they'd just be dead weight. I have to agree with him. You said you'd help us out. This is my way of helping you out. If you want to continue to refuse my offers, then fine by me. Walk straight to your desk with Emma and the others. Dude, the shadowing on this is brilliant. As much as I think the lining and the character design for Norman is kind of fucked up. This is a dope panel. Really dope panel. Didn't you want us to survive? If you were to die soon either way, then doing so by getting shipped off would be the best way to go. So what will it be? You and this? So sets of that level wouldn't work anymore, huh? To obtain the trump card, I'd have to give up on bringing everyone. To give up the trump card would mean to put everyone in a bad spot. Fine. Yo, what Norman does with this position right now is my favorite thing. If it goes the way I automatically think it's gonna go, it's my favorite thing, because I guarantee you he knows Isabella's position. It's not as clean as you think, my boy. It's nowhere near as clean as you think. but there's no reason not to leverage it, and the percentage and odds of success fall drastically if you don't. Right now, even if it turns out to be a lie, it would probably be for the best if I just agree with his. If that just now was a lie, then. Sure! Ray is a god. Ray is a fucking god. To destabilize him like that, even when he was concealing his hand to the utmost and pushing the issue. Like Norman there was no misstep there for him to read into. All he did was play his own bluff. God, the two of the Norman and Ray, these two fucking children are my sons, dude. I haven't respected a child character in manga in many months to this extent. I'll tell you that right now. I know. No worries. Of course I wasn't. So Ray was the spy. But then again, he wasn't an enemy either. No, he was more than that. He can reliably destroy the transmitters. He can even control the flow of information, all according to his will. Not only would he, but in a favorable position to restrain the enemy, but he even gathered information to aid our escape. And that's the idea about their internal state of affairs. Amazing. What a trump card. With him on our side, we actually have a fair chance of survival. This man. You're disappointing me, Norman. You're disappointing me right now. There better be a caveat to this, because you're really disappointing me right now. But it all depends on the conditions. Fool Emma, give up on everyone. I can't leave them behind. What Ray said makes sense, and what Emma wants is reckless. It'd be easy to fool Emma. It'd be hard to fool Ray, and you have to develop a construction that allows you to manipulate both and still succeed. That's why you, my son, can rise above all else. Still, I want to become like her, and that's the only saving grace for him, because his mentality is 100% along the man's construction. What you do from this point on, Norman, is my most interested. Like, that's what I'm most interested in this series by far. Norman, Ray, Isabella, favorite characters in the series. Done. I don't give a shit about anybody else right now. There are more people I could save, that I'd love to do just that. You're late. I was talking with Norman. So, what's up with them? Nothing worth reporting. They've just been really focusing on the tag training. More importantly, that aide of yours, she started moving on her own. You better watch out. I see. You shouldn't have requested her to come. Pretty sure you called her to keep me in check anyway, right? Even though I've been completely loyal to you these past 6 years, that timeline is perfect for me too. That allows me to kind of construe what he's been accessing. If we think about the fact that it's 2045, we go back 2039, and then what he's been accessing. That gives me a huge idea on the cult of Nero. All right. We're saving, like I said, we're saving all the big game theories for later, because the one thing I can't tolerate anymore is making a theory at a point where there's information available to other people. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, ReZero. I'm at a point where you could easily read far and above me, and I despise it. I absolutely hate it, because the same fuck motherfuckers that want to come to you and be like, oh my God, you're fucking wrong. Oh, no, you're wrong. This is what happens. This is what happens. Here you go. Fuck you. Fuck all of you. Seriously, and really and truly, I 100% believe that sentiment, because one, you've read it, so you know. If you didn't know, I'd be more inclined to converse on that level. But just coming in there and be like, no, you're wrong. This is what happens, or like leaving little subtle hints as to what actually happens. Yo, you can go fuck yourself. No, we would have thought you'd still be cautious around me. Honestly, that makes me kind of sad. Just in case pigs start to fly. Your work these past 6 years has been splendid. Of course I trust you. But this wouldn't have happened if you were behaving how you should have been in the first place. That's the one thing that got her on point on the man. I can't fault her for that either, as far as the appropriate move. But Ray must have known of that outcome when he did it regardless. I think he can leverage that just the same. Enough people can leverage that just the same. I certainly couldn't have anticipated that Norm would actually break the house rules. But it's not like I expect you to be so useless that you'd fail at one of your jobs of keeping watch either. My bad. That's also why I'm making this up to you, by spying on them. I've sold out my closest friends, and I've also told you about the disturbing actions by the sister in fine detail. You better compensate me well for this. Of course. That is the deal, after all. I've already ordered what you asked for. It's going to take 2 or 3 more days to arrive as usual. Fucking goddess, dude. I know she's not getting disoriented by this in the slightest. I've made up my mind long ago. The boy works in solitude in order to save his friends. How will I spend the rest of my remaining time here? Soon, I'll be 6. At most, I can stay here for another 6 years. The number of lives I can save will be limited. That's the reality of this world. I don't give a damn about what all of you want. There's no way I'm letting those two walk straight towards their graves. There's no way I'm letting this 6-year-long plan of mine go up in smoke. With that, I 100% understand Ray as a character, and I absolutely adore him. And it's not going to be perfect for everybody, especially those of you that want to have that like happy-go-lucky construction of life, but this man is a young lord. And that drive, I think out of everyone, although inadvertently it's one of those reverse death flags where I think it lands on him just the same, but I think everyone in this scenario right now, Ray has the most solid foundation for his resolve and drive that can't be exploited in any way possible. Unless by Isabella, and unless she does have a concept and a construction of the situation that I think she does. But that remains to be seen. I need like a piece of dialogue to confirm that. Fuck y'all, Ray, Isabella, Norman. That's life. That's all that matters to me right now. And the potential of him. That's all that matters, dude. Shout out to young Phil and his fiendish ways. Shout out to Gilda. Shout out to Don. But and I also want to give Thelma a shout out because I like Thelma a lot, but nothing else really matters in this series for me. All right, we're gonna get into chapter 15 right now. We're gonna kind of breeze through it. We're gonna end the stream, and then anything else that I really need to get into, we'll get into separately from this video. Fool Emma. Act like we're bringing them all along and dish them at the last moment. No way. I want to make Emma happy, and I personally want to bring everyone along too. No, you just want to bring everybody along, Norman. That's the discrepancy. The gears spin in order to give everyone a chance. But as long as you keep thinking out of that construct, I guarantee you can come up with something. I can just pretend to fool Emma and deceive Ray instead. It'll be fine. I'm definitely capable of doing it. If I try. Oh my fucking god. That is one of the realest cover pages, dude. I think that's one of my favorites so far. Only like the spiral labyrinth, and then them in the wine glass. Like those are the two that like level this for me. This is fucking twisted though. This is fucking twisted. That's why I told you. Ray! Emma! No! Wake up! You guys! Everyone! Bro, tell me they're actually physically altering the man's psyche right now with these dreams. I mean, he did see them, so it's fine for him to be able to actualize this, but that's terrifying. Norman, it's time to wake up. A dream? Good morning. Oh, it's so cute, dude. My heart. Good morning, Norman. Good morning, Emma. Morning, Norman. Morning, Ray. Oh, it's test time. Let's go, bro. I'll get Ray to cooperate. I'll also do what Emma wants. But I have to be careful. Ray, Mama, Sister Krone with one tiny mistake. See, you still have to consider. That's the thing. You still have to consider Krone's movements no matter what. As twisted as it is. She could destabilize everything. We'll get stabbed from 3 separate directions. The result is that everybody dies. Think. Ray's the trump card we need. With him, our chances of survival improve dramatically. How can I get him to cooperate without him finding out my true nature? Or my true intentions? I don't know why I even read nature. Where did I get that from? I don't know. That's how out of it I am at this point. But interesting shots. Don doesn't seem to be doing too well out there. Also, splendid work, you three. Full scores again. Don, Gilda, both of your scores have jumped up as well. Phil, you too. Yay! Yo, Phil is a little fiend lord, dude. This man has the greatest twisted potential of anyone I've ever seen. Look at that cheer, dude. That juicy cyber effect, too. I can't even with young Phil, dude. I love him, but I'm weird. Like that's the kind of individual that if you're in a society where like even the slightest air will destabilize the flow and the hierarchy, you have to snuff out early, dude. I'm just saying. Truly splendid. Keep it up, you two. Phil, great job to you too. Look at how happy he is, dude. Also, how will I tell Emma about all of this? That of all people, Ray turned out to be the spy. You don't do it overtly, and if you do, you gotta hold some things to the chest, bro. You can't tell her the scope of it, you can't tell her the timeline, because you've told her far too much at this point. And granted, Emma has proved me wrong time and time again, and her potential just shines through more and more, but there's some things that her innate persona and construction and heart don't allow her to grapple with, and that's her greatest weakness. So what was the situation with the fake ropes? Was anyone the source? Me? Damn, look at his face, dude. Normie was like, fuck you, Ray. I was trying to figure this out. Trying to know how to tell her. I mean, hearing it from him is the best possible scenario, though, if she's going to hear it. I am Mama's personal source. You? Wait, sorry, I had a bit of an outburst there. That was just a really shocking revelation, and I'm not exactly sure even to what, where, to even when. Here, let me explain. So basically, he's the source, but not necessarily an enemy. And he's been doing it for all these years for our sake. Yeah, to tell you the truth, I was actually planning on revealing the fact as soon as you two returned from the gate that night. But then I realized that a lot of things weren't going as I originally anticipated. Like how you left the little Bernie at the scene and how you started planning to have all of us escape together. Dude, that blow, dude. That blow. Yeah, I still feel really bad about the mistake with little Bernie. He did fuck it up there. Thanks to you guys, Mama realized right away, and I had to focus on keeping her restrained. You guys also looked like you were planning on doing something batshit crazy. So I was just like, well, might as well keep quiet and restrain both sides at once or whatever. Dude, Ray is a god. Ray is a fucking god. I feel him. So the reason why you couldn't tell us until now was because you had to cover for your own for our mistakes, huh? And I guess you're really against us taking everyone along, since you were trying so hard to restrain us even before we knew the truth about you. Well, not quite. I don't feel that way anymore. You've managed to convince me that we should take everyone, and now that you know the truth about me, I don't think we'll be able to secretly manipulate you into changing your mind anymore. From now on, I'll definitely do everything I can to make your plan work. This is the perfect move to actually do that from his perspective, though. Even Norman is wary in that panel. All right, we're good. Yo, Ray is a god. That's so unlike you. And she realizes it too. That's what's... Yo, this is the potential of Emma shining through right here. Usually you change your mind once you make it up. Usually you never change your mind once you make it up. Do you think he's lying? Nope. It makes me really happy. Ray confirmed with us that he agrees with our plans. On top of that, now we know that we have a really powerful ally that could potentially deceive Mom wherever we need it. It's all really great news, but I see. So you knew this whole time, huh? It must have been hard. The only one with that real empathy out here, dude. You knew, but you kept quiet and watched our siblings. So many of our siblings go, hey, can I ask you something? About your experimenting with the transmitters. Does that mean that you've experimented with breaking an actual transmitter embedded in one of our siblings' ears? That's the real question, dude. Even Norman didn't think of it. I've already experimented. It took me many years of trial and error. And I think the timeline at that point was just a means to kind of string things along so we could keep both sides at bay for longer. Too many years of trial and error, but I eventually discovered a way to do it. If you did, in the end, what happened to the child or the children you've experimented on? You didn't end up bumping up their shipping date or anything, did you? You haven't sacrificed anyone for our sake, have you? That's the real question to be asking. He's not going to give you that real answer, though. I mean, if you did, it's fine. Thanks to you, we can actually manage to escape together with everyone now. But just me. Oh. In one fell swoop, single panel, you just proved yourself to me wholeheartedly. That's savage. It's nice to just see like I mean, and that is heavily a shonen construction. As much as this series like kind of subverts my demographic predilection, I think that is heavily a shonen construction because to have little signs and shows of the savagery of Emma that is to come is beautiful. But just to make sure, don't you ever dare try something like that again. Now I'm torn on thumbnail, dude. Now I'm kind of torn on thumbnail. You're not alone in this anymore. You really aren't. I promise I will never do it again. Let's succeed in escaping this hell together with all of our siblings. Damn, yo, those sharp teeth under there are beautiful. Good man. Damn, she was pissed. Yeah, but she was restraining herself. Because she knows how tough it must have been for you all these years fighting by yourself. Ray, when and how did you even find out the truth? How did you truly feel all these 6 years? That's the real question right there. You said that you'd be doing everything for our sake, but are you really sure about that? Oh, by the way, Once we're back in the house, I have something to report to you two. Before that, it's time for us to practice with tag again. So what's the report? In order to read the enemy, we have to know the enemy first. So Gillen and I decided to try observing Mama for a few days. What we found was that Mama disappears a little before 8 p.m. every night. Disappears? Yeah. During that time, we can never find her anywhere. So in conclusion, somewhere in this bill, and in 6 years, Ray, you haven't. Tell me he knows about the disappearances at least, even if he doesn't know where it is he skirts off to. You better at least know about it after that long time for me to continue my my high god tier esteem for the man. It might just drip into just like base lord status instead of god tier, but somewhere in this building, there must be a hidden room that none of us know of. Tuesday, 10:31, 8 days until the day. Yo, I'm so glad they keep giving me these timelines because I can see it so clearly and vividly in my mind as to where we are. Let's fucking go, dude. I want to read the next chapter right now. What time is it though? No, I can't. I can't do it. All right, it is what it is. We'll get there. We're slowly getting on our grind to catch up. All I have to say after this chapter, Ray is an absolute god. And don't sleep on the potential of Emma. Those are the only two things I want to say right now. Still, Norman is above Ray for me, but it's minuscule at best. No, he's not even. They're just tied equally right now, and it just depends on the moves they make from this point forward as to where I rank them. Fuck Krone. I've already said my piece as to everything else. I actually have to leave, so there's no time for me to actually engage with the chat, but I really appreciate all of you guys coming through. Please respect the no spoiler thing in the future, and please respect the fact that I don't get why people feel the need to feel like, does it give you like a sense of like, oh, like I know my shit now, and like I have this overbearing position where I get to reveal things to the people and like show that I know when they don't. What is that? What do you get out of that? I don't get it. So if you're one of those people, please stop or just don't come back anymore, because I'm not dealing with it, and I will fucking block you at that point. Nevertheless, thank you guys for coming through. Please smash that like button if you enjoyed. And the next stream, I have no idea when it will be, especially since this week I'm moving. I have no idea what my schedule is going to be like late this week, but you can always count on the very least, and you guys should have noticed the pattern by now, but you can always count on a Promised Neverland stream on Monday afternoon, no matter what. So, like, if it happens in between now and next Monday, it's a bonus, and, like, we'll get caught up even faster. But in general, it's going to be on Monday afternoon. That transition to my next point, which is once I catch up, I actually will just keep doing it on Mondays, because I know the chapters have been coming out like on the weekends readily. Promised Neverland seemingly has been like every Sunday night, whereas like Taizai and Fairy Tale have kind of been Saturday to Sunday. But both Taizai and Promised Neverland in the future, once I'm caught up on Promised Neverland, will be on Mondays, no matter what. Like, even if it comes out earlier, because that's why I realize where I can't get to Taizai sometimes. And I think I'm going to have to do the same thing with Boku no Hero and make that the Friday. But we'll see what happens. I mean, this week I'll do it Thursday. But nevertheless, I'm out. Peace.